And we are live. It's Put a Ring on It tonight. Put a ring on it. Reviewing Put a Ring on It, you guys. Have you been watching Put a Ring on It? Are you a fan of the show? To be honest with you, I still want my doctor, Nicole, to come back. I still want my Dr. Nicole to come back. Am I the only one who is missing Dr. Nicole at this point? Hey everybody, it's your girl Mother from Mama, the undisputed African queen, you guys. If you are here for the first time and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, listen to Z from Ready to Love
She's
Miami.
undisputed, she's Africana, and she's a queen, so you better subscribe. Her name is Mo, Afro Mama. She's on fire, so get to subscribing. The button's right there, right there. Please subscribe. Yeah.
Love it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Mother from Mama. Tonight we are speaking on Put a Ring on It. And they're discussing about the dates that they had when that your partner you're on the same date with your partner on the same location, and all those emotions that brings out your partner. We talk about Ricky, and Ricky saying, I'm cool, I got no feelings. And Catherine is saying, what are your feelings? How do you feel about me being touched and this and this? So Catherine was intentional on her date. Catherine was trying to bring out the feelings or the feels from Ricky, on that date. That's why she was allowing the dude to do all those things, touchy things that he did. Then Stacy, she's not a doctor, so we're gonna just be calling her Stacy. So she says, you know what? We wanna understand your upbringing, and so we're gonna want you guys to meet with your family. So we see Catherine meeting with dad and grandma, and she talks about how the relationship or their lack of with her and her daddy, that they did not have a relationship, or they did but not to her expectation. And the question I have for you guys is, Catherine is now in her 30s, all right, if I'm not mistaken. uh can you teach an old dog new tricks? Can therapy help when it comes to Catherine? Is she able to realize, what, I have my mommy's genes in me, all right? And is therapy gonna help though? You know what I mean? Or this outburst that you have between you and Ricky, and you get angry and you have this and listen, we all get angry. I get angry over here. You know what I mean? But I think I don't know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes we need deliverance from God. Like sometimes we just need deliverance. Therapy might not help us. Sometimes we need to go to God and tell God, I have been trained this way. This is how I've been raised. This is my upbringing. I need deliverance. You know what I mean? I don't know if therapy is gonna help Catherine. How is therapy gonna help Catherine to deal with Ricky with his little 2 3 point dreads that he has on his head? And he's a handsome guy. Don't get me wrong. But how are you gonna be working or trying to have this man who lives with his mom, dad, cousins to put a ring on your finger? I feel like the priorities over here. Priorities. Can we find our own space first? Can we figure out our finances first before we talk about, put a ring on it? You know what I mean? And I feel that for all these couples. I feel that for all these couples. All right? Like, Why are you bringing me to the show if we are not on the same timelines about having a child? And we were all saying, we were all for this Joya girl, and we were saying, you know what? Oh, maybe she doesn't. And then we realized, oh, she has a son. She has an 11-year-old son. So why is she rushing into wanting to have another child? And the boyfriend has a child too. Can we travel the world? Can we use technology? Freeze your eggs. Okay? Freeze your eggs. Put them somewhere. Travel the world and come back and get your eggs. She looks like she's a healthy woman, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. The only thing I don't like about this girl is like she is ready to entertain the dates that she's having. She wants to talk about sex and intimacy and all that. But then when the boyfriend has anything to do with that, she's catching feelings. The double standard, you guys. You know what I mean? No, no. I don't know. Do you guys? I miss Dr. Nicole. I do miss Dr. Nicole. Um, I don't know. And the dates that they're having. First of all, Ricky really wanted to go on another date with that girl. He just did not want to offend Catherine. And Catherine, why does Catherine want to go on another date with this dude who was very inappropriate? I don't know, you guys. Are you feeling this puttering on it? I'm not feeling it. I feel like we need better dates. You know, all these people they're coming over here trying to look for them. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Mm-mm. I'm not feeling it. But uh I think we need to petition, just like the way we petitioned Love is Blind. We need to petition for Dr. Nicole to come back. Serious, like she needs to come back. No shade to Stacy. I mean, Stacy is an honorary doctor, so she has not put in the work. You know what I mean? Um. So, anywho, they meet with their family. So Catherine brings grandma and dad, and she's over there emotional. And you can see clearly, when she went back and met Stacy, and she's saying, you know what? You can see she wants to work out things with Ricky, right? And then we have Josh, the girl Joya, bringing in her sister. So, sister, if you don't have a tooth, you don't have a tooth. Why do you want the cameras to if you know if you don't have a tooth, why do you want camera to focus on the part that you don't have a tooth? You come over there, you realize, oh, I am missing a tooth on this side. And so you see the camera is on this side, and you try to adjust the sitting position. Girl, she didn't have, and then she kept smiling and laughing, and I'm like, girl, you're not national television. I could not even understand what it was. My eyes were just focused on that tooth, the missing tooth, the missing tooth. I'm so stupid. I cannot believe I say that. Mm. But how are you gonna come on TV and you have a missing tooth and you just still want to come here and laughing? I made. I made. Mm? And then we have the other girl. The mom is calling her out, telling her, you're controlling. You're controlling. You're controlling. Stop controlling your dude. When your dude goes out there, you can not control whatever he's doing out there. Okay? You don't want to have, getting high blood pressure or anxiety or depression just because you're not able to control a situation. You know what I mean? Why? Okay, goody is here. Good.
Hey, you can hear me?
What's happening? Is that me? Can you
Nothing.
hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We in business. Hi. So where we at with it?
I was I was talking about the sister who was brought in on the show, and I could not even understand anything she was saying because I was only my eyes was fixated on the missing tooth.
Oh yeah. You gotta have side teeth. And a lot of people don't. And
Well,
that was Jasha's, that was
mm-hmm,
Joya's sister.
mm-hmm.
You gotta have side teeth.
And you can come over there and you can realize the camera is on this side, and you can situate yourself in a way that the cameras are not
Another
going to be fixed.
You know what? Another thing that was very distracting to me was
Mm-hmm,
you can tell that they're recording in their house because some of these people be renting space
mm-hmm.
because some of the painting when they was walking in, the paint on the wall wasn't tight. It wasn't TV ready. But who we the judge? We can't judge the people them for them something.
You cannot.
I it's almost regular,
Yeah.
right? It makes it more regular. But did we discuss the show? Because I thought there were some interesting moments
Uh-huh. Go
in the
ahead.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we want to start? Where were you? Like, did you do the whole rundown
I
of the
was
show?
actually right there. I was just talking about the dates, and Stacy. I'm no longer gonna be calling her Dr. Stacy. I have to give respect to people who have worked so hard to to get that doctorate.
It
So
just
I'm
feels
gonna call
very
her
chaotic.
Stacy.
It doesn't feel like we're coming to resolution. There's two things I want to say about she's calling herself Dr. Stacy. She might be working on, I don't know.
But she's
But
not there yet. So we call her Stacy.
but there's two things I noticed though. Like I noticed that she with Dr. Nicole, we would already be seeing some resolve, but things also seemed very clinical, right? Like
Mhm,
I feel like there's more engagement and interaction with the couples together when they're in that room.
mhm,
Like when Zay said when Jasmine's mom said that Jasmine was
mhm.
the problem and Zay
You're not
said,
the.
but she's not,
Mhm,
right? That's not something he would have done before. So there is progress because when they first came, he wouldn't even have responded to anything about how she felt. But everybody in the room was kind of interactive. Before it would just be like, oh, he's doing good. It wasn't before it would have been like he's doing really well. But it wouldn't have been like the way they were like, oh, look at you. Oh, there's that difference. It seems warmer and more intimate amongst the
mhm,
everybody. Hey, Mimi. It seems
mhm.
more intimate and warm between them. Um, Give me a second. It feels more intimate and warm, but it also
Mhm.
feels chaotic. We're not getting to any resolve. I don't know if I think Catherine is making any real progress.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think she is.
I don't know.
But it's interesting. I would like to know what her mother's situation is, because it sounds like her mother is wild for the night. Sound like her mother's wild.
Okay. Okay.
And in
And
a
the
way
question I have for you,
they're starting to
the
make
question I
Ricky.
have for you, Goody,
Go ahead.
is
Huh?
the question I have for you is, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The question for you is, can you? Can you teach an old dog new tricks? Can Catherine, with the way she was, the upbringing, hi girl, the upbringing, is she able to learn to is it dislone or whatever name you want to call it? Because this is how she was brought up by mommy. Is she able to cut ties with that negative upbringing from mommy's side?
Well, first of all,
Because of
I'm going to
therapy.
need them to stop having alter egos. Because who the hell is Smokey? When Smokey come out. Nah, we not doing Smokey come out. Catherine, own your shit. Don't create a whole other person to put your shit on. If you are rude, if you are too abrasive, be like, I am rude and too abrasive. Don't create this third person that you can blame when when Smokey comes out. What do you mean when Smokey comes out? You are Smokey. When I get rude, I like hold yourself accountable. And then Dr. Stacy is like, so Smokey. Nah, don't. I'm your therapist, counselor, or whatever. We ain't having no alter egos in here unless this is about multiple personalities.
Okay.
Because it disassociates from you're trying to disassociate you from your behavior.
100%. Yeah.
And then Joya, I don't want to hop around. So let's focus on the couples, I guess,
Okay.
right? Zay or Loki, he also have a
Zay?
third. He also
Yes.
Zay and Jasmine, they're having their discussion about her date and his date. And I still don't think they got to the nitty-gritty of how it seemed like when he got home he had a lot of vibes about how well her date seemed to have gone. Right? But she was more vocal about feeling bad that he called the woman, oh, she's sexy or whatever in front of her. But I feel like even though she had those feelings, he had more feelings about how well her date went. Right? But why didn't we address that?
Because it's not
why was he
Nicole
able to just be cool? Right? And then I don't feel like Ricky really spoke about how bad he felt.
He has no feelings.
But I like him more after this episode now that I know about Smokey. And he's not a bad looking dude. There's some scenes when he remembered to put lipstick on.
His lip balm. When he remembers to put his lip balm, he's all right.
His lips are balm, then his hair is pulled back. He's like, oh, okay. He don't look that bad. Like the pink sweater confessional. Okay, I see what it is. I mean, not for me, but for her, I see it.
Right.
And then she has some scenes where she looks absolutely stunning. She is a good-looking woman. But no, she has scenes where it's like, wow, I get it. But
Catherine?
Yeah, Catherine.
Well, she's not, she's an okay girl. Like, she's an okay girl. You know what I mean?
I have.
Yeah, she is. She's an okay girl.
It seems to me that. Does it seem like her grandmother raised her?
Yes.
Her dad.
That's why she brought in. That's why she brought in grandma.
I have a theory about when your parents. I have a theory about when paternal parents raise you, because.
Yes.
In a world where there are men who do not, who do leave the situation, right? When that happens, the mother stays around. But when the mother doesn't stay around, the father is absent, but then so he abandons you, but when your mom abandons you, that's a whole layer.
Happy
And then
birthday to your
happy
husband. Happy
birthday, Mimi.
birthday.
Oh, for your husband. But like, but when your mother's mother doesn't step up for you, that's a whole nother layer of abandonment. And it's a harsher layer, I think. Because I've seen people who've gone through that. So it doesn't even matter how much the paternal grandmother does. There's a part of you that's like, damn, my mom's family ain't step up for me. My mom ain't step up for me. And my dad couldn't step up for me. And what do you mean you was in the army for 14 years? You was not around? What that mean? What that mean? And how young were they when they had her? Because he looked like he could date her.
Yes. He's a handsome fella. I was like, is this
No,
your
but he
dad?
looked age appropriate to like date her.
Yes.
So if she's 30, he might only be 45. Like,
around.
so that's so, but you know, that's where her issues come from, I think. And it makes sense almost. It makes sense knowing her background that she wants a man who takes care of his children, but she feels a way when the man is taking care of his children. She wants someone to do what her dad didn't do, but she feels a way because she didn't have what this man is giving his children. She got a lot that she got to untangle. And then
that's the
Go ahead.
question I have for you, because you're also a life coach. You're also, spiritual.
I'm Dr. Goody Gabor.
There you go. But are there things that we really need to seek God's help way more than therapy? Don't go over there saying, I have done therapy. There are things that I feel like
if you have the right therapist, the right therapist is going to give you the tools you need to get through whatever it is you're going through. If it's medical, like where you might need medication, they're not going to tell you to lean on faith, because some people actually need medication. But if it's not, if it's just something the right coach, the right therapist is going to ask you or suggest that one of your tools be, what do you believe, whatever you believe in. It's going to have to be what you believe in. You find what I'm saying? What's up, D? But like, I don't know. Like, God ain't gonna be able to do anything for Catherine until she figure out what God she serves. She got a lot going on.
There you go.
She wants a man who takes care of his children. She wants a man who takes care of his children. She's jealous, and it's innate. She doesn't even know that this subconscious thing is happening when he does take care of the children. And she ain't got children herself, because I don't know if she trusts herself to be a good mother. Because she ain't have a good mother, and she ain't have a good father either. So she has a lot going on. She has the stuff she has going on. Actually, for me, seem like she needs to be by herself. She doesn't need to be trying to get married.
You're not over here trying to make yourself put a ring on it. She's not supposed to be doing that. She's supposed to be working on herself. This put a ring on it should be the last thing on her mind.
Pretty much.
I would say this to all the couples, really, to all of them. They have so many issues. Like, go through, focus on yourself first. If you have so many disagreements, like fundamental issues, your boyfriend that you've dated for 2 years is like, yo, I'm not ready to have children. You're over here saying, yo, I am my late 30s. I won't have children right now. Those are fundamental disagreements. I don't know how you're gonna go through.
It doesn't make it feels Like, what is joy you're chasing? You have a child already. He has children. It's
Yeah.
only 2 years.
Yes.
He's a solid dude. Like for
Yes.
me, her being so upset at the chick showed out. The girl showed out. The girl
Mhm.
was being extra. Now I can
Mhm.
understand her
She
being
was.
uncomfortable with
She was.
him holding
Mhm.
the woman's hips, but she knows he's not a disrespectful dude. It almost feels like she was more mad because her date was whack.
Mhm. And I never got that energy from her when they were talking to Stacy. It's until she got to the car and she was giving me all this bad energy. She was over there
She
cute
started
matching
because
outfits.
it was she again. I thought she should have walked away from this experience, realizing she had a man who appreciated her and her child, and she should have felt grateful that she had such a solid dude.
Mhm.
Now, this isn't he's a good man, Savannah. Like this man speaks and he sounds like he has some sense. It's not a good man for a good man. Everything she likes about him should be enough for her to understand that, okay, well, if we can't have kids now, let's um yeah, you see, yeah, you her date was whack. She essentially went on a date. She has a child, and while she on the date, this is the everybody in the same room date. While she on the
Mhm.
date with her man is with the chick who's putting the pressure on and flirty and touchy, and she on the date with the dude, and dude gonna let her know he don't really he basically he just having fun coming on these dates because he don't really mess with single mothers
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
would that
Single
would have
moms.
been enough to make me be like,
Right. Like single moms
I
are not
thought she should have had
just.
more energy. She should have had more energy for Dr. Stacy. Like, yo, what is it y'all sending me? I'm a single mother. How do I end up on a date with a man who doesn't want to date single mothers?
Okay.
That's not on y'all questionnaire. That's what I would have done.
Okay. Uh, and not to move away from this, when we are talking about this, something came to my mind, and I watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I'm glad about the guy that Marcel
Gino,
brought in. I love Gino.
let me tell you a secret about Gino. You know what energy I was getting from Gino?
Mhm.
If you don't want her, I'll take her. Marcel better watch himself with Gino up in that office.
Really?
That man was like, she is an asset.
Yeah.
You are doing us a disservice if you don't appreciate her business acumen. If you put that man in a room with Tisha and he start bigging her up the right way, that's why Marcel went home like, ugh, I've been thinking that I don't appreciate your business acumen.
I was like, okay, now Marcel, you understand the language. It's like even when dad is talking to you about it, you're still not getting it. It's until Gino talks to you and you'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm overprotective. There are things I have been protecting you from.
You ain't protected. He's not protecting her, by the way. That's not what he's doing. He believes that men should have a place and women should have a place. And her place isn't in his face when he trying to do his building of shit. She don't want he doesn't want to be a partner with her. I wonder what it is. He must respect Gino more because Courtney said the same thing to him last season. Courtney was like, yo, my wife is my partner and I'd have it no other way.
Mm, mm. We don't wanna bring this these people back to love and marriage, Huntsville, which we
No, I'm
love.
not going to do that,
Goody and
but
I,
the
Goody and
I
I
I
love.
definitely got the vibe that Gino like, shoot, I wish I would have been a partner with my wife. I still have my wife.
See? See?
Let me tell you, you want to be careful with men like that around your wife because all she wants is to be seen for her value, and you ignore all of her value and trying to get her in the kitchen. It's a good thing he got him out of. It's a good thing he ain't let them share no daggone office. Because a man like Gino's, if that's how Gino's talking to her husband about her, could you imagine? He'd be like, I admire you. Why isn't your degree up on the wall? Girl, go get that degree. Let's put but back to these people. Joya focused
Right.
on the wrong things and arguing with this man unnecessary. Like, it just doesn't make any sense that she's arguing with this man.
Mm-hmm.
Very calculated. It doesn't make any sense that Joya is beefing with this man. I understand you don't want anybody touching your spouse or you touching. Like, I get it. You don't want that, but y'all got into this and it's working out. And she was like, you wanted to be her trainer. What? Like, now you know when men said women have illogical arguments? The argument she was trying to have with him in that car didn't make sense. And if you think about
It never made any sense.
if you think about who she was really mad at, she was mad at herself because she didn't put any boundaries. Because that's how she started.
And she said that.
Oh, Jasmine and Zay have the 1 drink minimum, but he said he had 2 drinks. I wish I would have put some boundaries in it. And to me, I think Zay might have a drinking problem. But now we're out of the therapy session and into their lives. Jasmine's mom and her brother. First of all, Jasmine's mom, clearly she loved her some Zay. But she told her the truth. She was like, you're a control freak and you're trying to control everything.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
That's a problem.
And she said no, but eventually at the end of the in the same conversation, she had to admit that she was trying to control everything.
Yes,
and the man gave her a very nice promise ring.
Yes.
The man gave her a nice promise ring. Now, I personally, how long they've been together?
2 years.
Like 3. Listen, a promise ring is good enough for me at 2 years. Honestly, I can't tell you that with the way that these men switch up. I can't tell you there's a man that I would meet and I would be comfortable just marrying him after 2 years. Because it'd be 3 years and you find out he got a whole kid you ain't know about. And I'm not trying to be attached to that. And then 4 years you found out he robbed a bank and they done caught up to him.
Okay. Or if it's been 2 years and you realize, oh my gosh, he likes men too.
Right. All of this. No. Like, I want to be able to know. Because really, not for nothing, what you know about him is what she knows about him ain't even admirable. Because he let the man tell her he would slap her in the face. I don't want to marry the dude. You not even quality enough to marry me until I see you tell that dude, yo, I need you to apologize to my girl for that thing you said. You never did it, and it's always bothered me that you never did it, and I'm going to need you to do that for me. Oh, you're not going to do it? Well, I will catch you when I catch you, but it ain't going to be the same.
Yes.
So he's not even marriage material based on what you know about him. Why are you rushing him down the aisle?
I don't know. Does she have kids?
I don't know. She might. Because sometimes you don't find out these people have kids until later. Like with Eric and the other chick, we didn't know they had kids until like the 7th or almost last episode.
I don't know, Goody. I mean, I feel like all these couples, when I feel like we are cheated, just like we are cheated on Ready to Love, I feel like we are cheated on Put a Ring on It. I need them to bring seasoned people who have been in a relationship. You have been wanting that ring, you have not had it, not because of stupid
Not
things,
for nothing.
things that you can see.
That should be
Yeah,
Catherine and Ricky, because they've been in this
no,
thing for 12
no,
years.
no, no. But your parents. So our finances are not together yet. So I'm not gonna I start
Right. Like,
pressuring you,
what do
put a
you
ring on it.
mean? Like, my son
Goody.
can't come telling me that he can't come telling me he gonna marry somebody and he ain't got no plans for house. You like, well, you gonna marry her and do what then?
No, I'm not gonna tell my guy that I'm dating that put a ring on it while he's living with his mom, dad, sister, cousins, and all the relatives in that house. That is not priority. Can we fix our finances together? Can we have our
Mimi,
finances
I
together
don't know if it's
prior
the host
to
or
you
not.
asking you? No, goody. No, goody.
No,
This
Mimi.
business
At
of people trying to rush into marriage
no, look at the
is bullshit.
question. Hey, Demita, look at the question.
Hi, Damida.
Mimi want
Do
to
you
know if
guys
we
think
think
they
it's
need
enough.
another host? We need to bring back Dr. Nicole.
No,
Stacy,
because you know why we don't need Dr. Nicole back? Because it was a ton of foolishness under Dr. Nicole. That's where we got Darion and his nonsense. And I feel like a couple other couple, wasn't Dr. Nicole the one with the psychos? Weren't they psycho last season? With the guy who threw the flowers and the other guy who the girl had went to jail for, like, you remember this, for like hitting something with her car. Yo, it was a ton of foolishness.
and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It is not about Dr. Nicole, though. You cannot put that on Dr. Nicole. It's production. It is
Yeah, but for me,
production.
Dr.
That's
Nicole
like the
should
way.
look.
No, goody,
Dr. Nicole
goody.
should have been able to look
No,
at
goody. No,
Darion and
no,
Alexis and been
goody.
like, "This don't seem
No,
real."
no, no, goody. Just like the way the own production has refused to do research on people they are bringing in on the shows. You have refused to showcase that Blue from Ready to Love has been cheating people, taking money from PPP. You have refused. You're getting Mark Anthony because he's a good-looking guy who is sleeping on somebody's couch in Miami. He really does not live in Miami, but because he's a good-looking guy, we're gonna bring him on the show. You have refused to showcase and do research on all these people, all these couples. They are not supposed to be on Put a Ring on It. Put a
But
ring on
this
it.
is my thing. You ready for me? I feel like if Dr. Nicole was there, Chance and what's his name? Dunbar or whatever his name was.
Stormy. What's her name? Stormy?
No, Chance.
Stacy Stan. What's her name? Yeah, I know what you're
Whoever,
talking. Yeah.
they would have still been on the show. Because I think they would have went by under the radar. But I think that Dr. Stacy kind of was putting pressure on them, like pushing them, like, nah, this don't make sense. Tell me again. Tell me again. Nah, this don't make. Oh, so you healed already? Nah, that don't make sense. Tell me again. I feel like Dr. Nicole would have had, they would still be on the show because it was a milder.
Dunbar.
Yeah, Dunbar and Chance. I feel like it was a more mild environment for fuckery to slide under the radar.
No. Damita is saying, Damita is saying that's because the research they do on people is not to see if they're good people. They are
filling roles. This is the thing.
They're filling roles.
When Ready to Love first started, it was them telling us that, we tired of these shows where people hooking up on the beach and all kind of food.
Did you see that? Did you see that, Goody?
Yeah. Spelman with honors, but not with a doctorate. So the history of this is my friend who's a therapist knows Dr. Stacy. And when I mentioned her, she was like, when I knew her, she was a coach. Maybe she went back and got her degree. But even my friend who's a therapist, we don't call her doctor or anything. She's a therapist.
Okay, okay.
But she could have went and
And
got
this is
her
the thing.
doctorate.
But she has not though. She has not gotten she hasn't though. And the problem I have is we have brilliant Black men and women for us to showcase this, and over say Black power. I'm not trying on this woman, but we have way more educated women who can do so much good to Black couples that Stacy is trying
You
to
want
do.
to know what
Just
I'll say,
because
though?
your mom,
No,
your
but
grandma was divorced 60 times. Grandma
but
was divorced.
if we take it
Grandma was
to
divorced 60 times.
if we take it to like AJ Wright, who's also a life coach, or even Iyanla Vanzant, who's a life coach, a lawyer, and I think she also has her doctorate. What they actually do, they meet with the people, they talk to the people, but they also have true doctors on set. Yes. So I don't know.
And we are not seeing that though.
I don't know.
I remember watching Iyanla fix my life, and she would, in not able to deal with people, she would bring in other people.
She'd bring it, and then even though we didn't see on set, they would have therapists and doctors in the background because she was touching some heavy things. But what these people in this episode, let's talk about Joya's date with the guy. She made that a very sexual discussion, and he was trying to keep it. He's the one who was showing the decency.
Yes.
He was like,
continue. Continue. I'm like,
and is that because Jasha had his hand on the woman's hip, or is this really what she's doing?
She's out to revenge.
That's stupid. Because what if the guy starts being interested in her?
I mean, the guy.
These men are not stable. You can't lead these men on. They're not stable.
The guy, but the guy is always trying to say, pump the brakes. She's over there. Continue. Go ahead. You have to remember the same girl who said, "I can still be intimate with somebody just by looking at their eyes."
Demeter, stop playing with me and the humanitarianism. Demeter's like, I think she's a humanitarian. Not human resources or anything, humanitarianism. Just how to be a good person. Yeah, Kenny and Shorty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a mess, but I feel like that's production. That's production, because Kenny and Shorty ain't had no business on the people. I'm not able. I can't. She was making the discussion too sexual, right? And I thought that was weird. But Zay and his date with the flight attendant, I got a problem with it.
What's your problem?
And my problem with it is he sound ignorant as fuck. He was white in a past lifetime because he likes to skateboard and listen to rock and roll and eat sushi and skydive. It is 2023. It is 2023. Black people don't need to be a white person in their past life to enjoy skateboarding.
Listen.
Skateboard P. You know what that is? That's Pharrell. He likes skateboarding. Tiana Taylor. she liked skateboarding. Lil Wayne, he liked skateboarding. What is it you mean, you ignorant ass? And the girl was looking at him like, wait, what? He was like, I think I was white in a past lifetime. Wait, what? Now, I have said some ignorant shit too in my past. Like, there was a time where I was feeling like the way I love tequila and chimichangas, I might have been Mexican in a past lifetime. But I can't think of any other people that make chimichangas. Skateboarding is universal, you dumb idiot. To the point where I'm looking like, what does Jasmine see in this guy?
Nothing.
So, but then Jasmine Googles that he would have to be with her for a year to get any perks from her being a flight attendant. Which is the control factor.
Jasmine.
Like, what would make you be like, oh, he went on a first date with somebody? Like, why are you so insecure? Because she heard the chick was a flight attendant. Well, that's his thing. He want to fly planes.
I don't know. I don't know why she's so insecure. And especially, you become insecure if you're not financially situated. Is that she's financially, I feel like she's making her own money.
I don't think finances are the thing. I think it's the fact that he tried to. First of all, I'm not going on no date out of the country, but our first date's out the country and you already, as I get there, you bagging a chick, you giving somebody else your information. And he works in like nightlife or something of that nature. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Do you think that we are really helping them on this show? Are we?
I don't think anyone's, if anybody walk away from here wearing wedding ring, I'm gonna be looking for the divorce. I already don't think that Catherine and Ricky are still together.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yes, his alter ego is Loki. He is a little bit out there. Another thing, something I don't like that Dr. Stacy let slide is when, instead of talking more about the date, the men try to go under the radar of, yeah, I'm learning, and I'm learning in this process. I feel it would be more valuable if they would say what I noticed about this date is that she does X, Y, and Z, and I feel like I'm recognizing that I'm missing that at home.
I love that.
Right? But they're just saying, because they girls are going to be mad at them wanting to go on the next date.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, because I'm learning a lot in this process.
Okay.
Right? And then I don't like how pleased Catherine was when Ricky said he didn't want to go back out with Sheila. But I did understand what he was saying about, like, now it's more of a friendship connection.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. But it only became a friendship connection when Sheila started trying to give him advice on what to do, because his girl was over there with being an ice cream cone for the Licky Monster.
I also feel like Ricky was afraid that if I go to a next
date, Smokey gonna come out.
It's gonna be, yeah. Because I watched an interview that Smokey did with not Smokey, but Sheila did with Kamisha, and she spoke on all things.
What'd she say? Because I didn't get to see that.
She was like, you know what? If you're mad that I'm feeding your man, why didn't you feed your man prior to the date?
That's a very Haitian thing to say.
She's like,
You
How
know
much
that,
are
right?
you hungry? You know what I
Where
mean?
my where my Zoes at? Haitian ain't no West Indian. Ain't no West Indian sending their man out one day.
No,
Yo, eat your
Donna
food
D
before you leave
with you
here.
on that one. I'm exactly with you on that one. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was disrespectful. But he was
Really?
doing too much. I feel like he turned it up a notch because Ricky was there. Because in next week, it seemed like he gonna be talking like he have some sense again. But
Yes.
you are
I was
but you already did too much. Cause for me, he shouldn't have been talking about his sexual prowess. He should have been leaning more on the this is where I am in my life and this is the kind of woman I'm looking for and you fit those attributes and I think you're beautiful and we should see where this is headed. But at the same time, I don't even know like this show and the dating other people, how far could even with these other people if I make a connection with the person on the date, how serious can the person on the date take me when they know that
like,
I'm leaving the body that I was with for 2 and 3 years to be with them because we
one
met
thing,
on because I was a contestant on a game show.
one thing I know is that I will not belong or ever be on this kind of a show because my husband will not allow.
Right? And, that's another thing. I don't want a man like hear me out. I'm not a cheater anymore, but I used to be.
You used to. You used to.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
used to be.
Go ahead,
Here's my
Goody.
thing. All of this polyamory and all of this, I don't like it. You want to know why I don't like it? I want to cheat in peace. I don't want my man to be like, "Oh, you going out with so and so?" I don't want my man to be like, "Oh, have a good time on your date." I don't want that. I want my man to be like, "Yo, this dude looking over here a little bit too much. It's
Yo,
because you
Goody,
look really good
Goody,
today, but he better not come over
Goody,
here,
Goody.
even if I'm
Listen,
cheating."
you are so exactly like my husband. Listen, we are in church. 90% is white people in my church. 10, 5% is Africans. And the only reason I go to that church is I love my sister, but I also love my African people.
Community.
But then yes, but then the 10%, the 5% that is African, they're all from West Africa. So we are the only people from East Africa, Kenya. And my husband is like, what are you? Why are you the only one who is the only wife who is hugging these people, men? Did you see any African woman over there hugging any other person over there?
He
Why
don't
are you
even
the
care
only
if it's a
one?
church hug with all the decent shit. He's like, don't give nobody no hug. Give them a head nod. Head nod. And he want you to be like,
you
facts, yo, Demeter,
I hear
facts
you.
and peace, yo. Yo, so check. I went on a date. This dude met him on dating app. We go on a date, nice date. It was at a spot. It had live music, martini bar or something like that. As we get into the talking, um, I'm asking the questions because you really have to ask people, you could be on a date and you have to say, so are you in a relationship? And he goes, he had some way of dancing around because on the dating apps they be trying to get slick and bring you into their foolishness, but they don't get a lot of people who interested. So he I can date. What's I can date mean? So then he goes on to tell me how his girlfriend pick out his outfit for the date and told him to have a good time. That don't sound like cheating in peace. I want to. No. I'm not picking out outfit. You not picking out outfit. When you see me going out, no, we not doing this. Not what we doing. I want to use my skills. I want to be tricky in the past, not the new me. The new me.
No, but goody. When I was dating my husband, and he was like, why are they together? That was cute to me. Right now, I've been married. I have 3 children. I don't care. I don't even look at people. That annoys me. That annoys me. I don't care. I am not even looking at anybody. That annoys me. Like, even my pastor is not able to give me a hug, and we can,
Well,
kiss.
nobody
And
could tell me what to do, so I couldn't be. See, this is why I'm single. So, Donna D, to answer your question, and the reason why I don't cheat anymore is I have done a lot of reflection on why I was cheating in the first place. The
why was
reason
that?
I was cheating in the first place was I was with amazing men, great men, but they were men who had it was like always there was always a bit of a block or something that I wanted that I wasn't getting, that they said they were working on, and I was waiting for them to work on it. But while I was waiting for them to work on it, right? Like my last long-term relationship was with a man who he had abandonment issues. He had a whole bunch of issues that he was working through. And it was hard work and he was doing the work, but the work he was doing, sometimes he would be cold because he was detached, right? Or sometimes we would be arguing all the time. And I would end up in a place where I'm just talking to somebody and that place is more peaceful, but I love him, but I find peace over here. So until we could get to peace over there, now if I'm in a situation today and the things that I personally know I want and need in a relationship, I'm not waiting for it. I'm going to mention it's not there. If you can't do the work immediately, something that I can see feasible where I know that it's a time or when it could come, I'm leaving. Right? But I had to get there because I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. I was biding time someplace peaceful where I was getting the things that I was lacking in the relationship, waiting for the things that I was lacking to show up. Like, I have a personal desire to have a lot of solitude. So I'm naturally drawn to a man who's going to give me solitude. But a man who's going to give me solitude is also going to have a little bit of coldness and aloofness in his disposition. And it's that cold and aloof that I don't want anymore. I don't want it anymore. You follow? Like, instead of trying to have some, like, an aloof man or cold man who can be like, I do love you, but please go over there. I want someone to want me around them until I don't want to be around them.
Go.
If that makes sense.
I'm here with you.
Right? But now I realize that instead of finding somebody who's going to just give me my space, maybe I find somebody who I have to compromise with to be like, I need this amount of time. And they'll be like, well, I don't want to give you that kind of time, but I understand your need for it. Before, I was just dealing with people who were going to give me that kind of time, but they were giving me that kind of time because their natural disposition. I'm talking about great men. Like, I was with a man for 10 years. We were great, but there was this coldness in the relation. There was a coldness. It was warm, and then there was a cold, like a detachment that I like for when I like it, but I don't like it for a whole relationship. So it's kind of complicated, but kind of simple. Now I know what I want: someone who can be warm to me, but still respect the boundary. Instead of, I didn't have to build the boundary of wanting space before. These dudes wanted space too. So I taking space and they taking space and we cool, but then like somebody who'll be like, okay, it's time to go to sleep. I don't like to cuddle. I like to cuddle.
Mhm.
So I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't like to cuddle. But the kind of dude who doesn't want to cuddle is going to give me the kind of space I want in the real world.
I listen. I like to cuddle as long as all the bills are paid. You get me? Let's pay all the bills, and then
What?
you can cuddle.
But
Don't
you
come with
gotta
me
go to
cuddling
sleep,
when I
Mom.
know my heat bill is not paid. My
But
credit card is paid.
if the heat's not paid, you
Let's
might
pay
need to
those
cuddle.
bills.
If the heat's not paid, you might need to cuddle for the
No,
warmth.
no, I'm not cuddling with your ass. I know the next morning after cuddling, National Grid, National Fuel, Verizon is gonna be sending people to my house. Okay, okay. So I'm not doing that.
So here's the deal, Donna D. I personally, I'm glad I evolved too. Partially because evolution is necessary, you know, for growth. And then there's another part of me that is glad I evolved because these dudes are unaliving you. These dudes are not back in the day, dudes used to be like, oh, ma. I see you, ma. You got now these dudes are like, oh nah, you cheated on me. Good luck surviving this. This is not how I'm gonna leave. I'm not leaving the earth because I'm greedy.
I don't know.
I'm not leaving the earth for that.
I never lived that kind of a life. I don't know. I'm an African to the core. And to me is like, financial stability is important to me.
See, but this is the thing. Financial stability is never gonna be my issue. You follow? Like financial stability is never gonna be my
Financial
issue. And I
stability is
don't
gonna be financial stability is gonna be an issue to any immigrant.
I'm a
Financial
daughter of
stability,
immigration.
financial
And I was in
stability
the
is gonna be,
immigration struggle. So
yes,
as a
and
result of
financial.
that,
Mhm.
I'm never gonna
But
allow
you,
that to be the case.
so goody, you're like my daughter though.
Yeah.
I am speaking on your parents'
But this is the thing.
situation.
I don't know. I'm kind of like your daughter, but I was conceived in Barbados. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
but
I
then
was
you're given birth
100%
here. But you are born in this country.
correct. So there are
So
certain things.
your
Yes,
opportunities are way better than your parents' opportunities.
but you want to know what the thing is? Because my parents didn't know about the opportunities because they were immigrants, they didn't know to expose me to the opportunities. Like I'm talking about, I was in the struggle. I'm talking about the paperwork wasn't right. I was a part of hiding to make sure the people didn't send us back because I wasn't going back as an American, right? But my people would have gone back because they were not. So I was a part of the hiding. I was a part of the struggle. And as a result of being a part of the struggle, I know what you mean about the finances. So today I know what it means cuz when my people came here, I'll tell you this, ain't nobody, my people came here in the 70s and went through the 80s. We were in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
Crack was eating up the Bronx. My people ain't had no time to be doing no drugs and drinking no liquor and buying no cigarettes because we had people to bring back. We had people to bring with us. You follow what I'm saying? So,
oh yeah,
the work it was about getting these bills paid, and it was about making sure the finances were together. But today, because I know the struggle that it took, I'm not going to be in any financial situation. Definitely not
I
dependent.
acknowledge that, and I respect that. I'm only speaking on.
You were part of the struggle too. Like you were it was your struggle.
Was not.
I was a part of the struggle, but it was your struggle.
Yeah, Goody was not per se. You know what I'm saying? You are the child of that, but you never.
I say I'm a daughter of immigration. Right. I get what you're saying.
Never had those conversations in the middle of the night that your mom and dad are talking about it. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's gonna happen for you as an American. You are entitled to so much.
I'm going to stop you right there, though. You ready?
Mhm,
Because it wasn't just my mom and dad. I was there for these conversations. I
mhm,
promise you, I have pictured, like in my mind, I could see my grandmother sitting down because we all lived in, like,
mhm.
first of
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
initially it was 8 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Mhm.
So you know that struggle. And
I
then you
know
branch
that.
out,
I know that. Mhm.
right? But I remember my grandmother always, so I know what stress you talking about because she would always sit down and be stressed. And I don't care how, because she was buying, like, we would always buy everything on sale and she would
Mhm,
freeze the bread. It did not matter how much bread she had frozen in the freezer.
mhm.
My girl would sit down and be like, we ain't got no nothing in here. No bread, no milk, no rice. And I'd be like, well, we have bread, milk, and we have rice. But for her, she was like, we gotta always have bread, milk, and you find.
Mhm,
So I get it. Like, I saw those discussions happening. I saw
mhm.
the stress. And quite honestly, as I walk through my life, I always say, I have to do more
Mhm.
because my people immigrated here and they went from 8 people in 1 bedroom to home ownership. So for me to be in home ownership is not enough.
Mhm.
They did that. They did that with the
It's
wolves
not
at their
enough.
back. So I have to take it a step further.
Mhm,
They brought us here, so I have to build legacy, right?
mhm,
So I get I know what you're saying. I know that it's your conversation about, it's your conversation,
mhm.
but I've heard them. I just didn't have
I
to
love
solve
that.
them. I didn't have to solve them.
I love that. And this is why you and I bonded, because I feel like you understood me in a deeper level. You know what I mean? It's not just about, me and you reviewing shows. Who are you as a person? And for me, I'm always trying to be as authentic as I can be, and try to speak to my struggles, being an immigrant in this country, raising my 3 children, and making sure that, yes, I have named my 3 children, I have named them the African names. Okay, they come over here, oh, they don't know how to pronounce my name. I'm like, you work hard in school, they will pronounce it fine. Okay,
But
all my
this is
three
my thing.
children have
What
the
I
African
did,
names.
if you could get Anastopolis and all of that together, you could get an African name together. If you could get all of these other, the Greek names and the Polish names, if you could get those names out your mouth, you could figure out how to say my name. But I have an Irish name, so.
That's what I say. That's
But
that,
yeah,
and that's
like
what I
we
keep
all have.
telling them,
You
that
know, the one thing
you.
that I always try to get across to you and others, like to you and even some people in my
Mhm,
family, when you are in the immigration struggle, you band together, and in a way, you're sheltered from the outside. So all you know is your struggle, and then you have to protect yourself from
mhm,
whatever other people are going to bring to you,
mhm,
which is how I was raised.
mhm,
When I stepped out of the comfort of my comfort zone, because I was raised with this idea that somehow Americans were lazy and da 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 da.
yeah.
When I broke out of my sheltered environment
And goody,
and I
and goody.
started interacting with, like, start not just seeing my American friends and, hey, how you doing, but hearing their stories, I was able to understand, one, what they tell us as immigrants when we come here. I'm talking about we come here, but what they say to people who are coming here is Americans are lazy. That's not what it was. It wasn't Black Americans are lazy. It was Black Americans are looking at you and they're doing the same job you're doing, but you want to pay them 50 cents and pay their white counterpart 100, like $1.50. And they're telling you we want equity. So
I
what?
like. I I love what you said, because many Africans come here And we all have that kind of a mentality. It's not that all Americans are lazy. Many African immigrants, we come here. Many African immigrants, we come here, we say African Americans are lazy.
But they're
They're not
not
going to do the
lazy.
jobs that they want to
People
do.
tell you we were told that they were lazy,
Mhm.
because if we were told, hey, those people who look like you're taking their jobs and doing them for less. So I don't know how they're going to feed their family. You might not do the job. You might be like, nah, they right. You need to pay us more.
Yeah.
You need to pay us more. Right? So they're going to tell
Mhm.
you what. It's always a ploy. It's always some tricky thing
I hear
that they're
you.
going to tell
I
you
hear
to
you
make you
because
to and it's easy to do it amongst black folk, because black folk, you separate us and then you pit us against each other.
Mhm.
And when you pit us
They have
against
done
each
that.
other,
Mhm. They have done
we
that.
gonna
I
fall
know.
apart.
I know
But
that.
then when
I
you
They have
really
done
do
that.
history, this is why they want critical race theory to be taken out of schools. Because when you start reading history and you understand what's at play, you understand, oh, they've been playing us the whole time. Because how could black Americans be so lazy, but you use black Americans to feed your babies and clean your house and cook your food? How can they be dirty when your wife couldn't breastfeed, but she had this woman breastfeeding her child? Your child. How does this make sense?
because because as an immigrant, when I come to this country, to me, as an African immigrant, when I come to this country, I don't see Goody, who is a black woman, as an immigrant. I see Goody as an American.
But
You
then you
understand
gotta
me?
talk to
The
Goody,
first
because
time,
now you
no,
know Goody was hiding.
Goody,
Goody
I
was a
get that.
baby that understood. I had to understand, yo, I can't make noise, because Don
I get that,
what
Goody.
D Nice
Goody.
just said. She remembers thinking, suppose my parents were deported, where am I going? I had
I
to understand that from a young age. So whatever was going on,
I
when it was
hear what
time to
you're saying.
hide
I
and
hear
shut up.
I hear what you're saying. But I remember coming to this country in 2005, and I'm here with my brother who brought me into this country in diplomatic status. And we come here and we are going to church and we are seeing people on the streets. And my brother, who is supposed to be my dad because of the age gap, and he's saying, "Yo, my gosh, why are people on the streets in New York City? Why? I was not expecting this." You know what I'm saying? And then I start my own life. I live my own life. I'm working in New York City, but I live in New York. And then I'm on this bus, and one of the black girls on the bus is saying, "We welcome them," and she's pointing at me. She's
There is,
pointing at me though.
you want to
She's
hear
like,
a funny
"We are
thing?
welcoming all these people to our neighborhoods." And to me, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Um, and then and then I become a mom. I become a parent. I become a mom, and I'm like, there are things I don't want my kids to learn. Like these things of you going around on the streets showing your underwears is not flying in this household.
Just so that we are clear, like my son wears a belt, and I don't even know what kind of undo. I don't know. I don't know if it's Calvin Klein. Da 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 da. I don't know if he wear boxers. I don't know if he wear boxer. We will never know, because my son doesn't have his pants thing. His father's
Mhm,
Haitian. His father is very big on belts. If his father does, I don't wear belts. I just wear pants that won't fall.
mhm,
I don't wear belts. His father is a belt man. You
mhm,
follow what I'm saying? But you would be looking and seeing Americans.
mhm.
But and then this is another thing I had to realize. So we immigrated or they immigrated. I was in my mom's belly,
Yeah.
but okay, so
Yeah.
there's this immigration process, and you
Mhm.
live where you can live, right?
Mhm.
But where you can live is around people who don't have money and who don't have education.
Yes.
So basically, you're living around ignorant people.
Yes.
You're living around people who either they're too depressed to do something about it. Something's wrong here, right?
Mhm.
These are
Mhm.
not the people who are going to exemplify your standards and your morals because for whatever reason, they don't have them for themselves. So you're around these ignorant people who saying ignorant things like we let them in. Like I don't even talk in
Mhm.
my day-to-day life today, I don't talk to ignorant people. Like if I'm having an exchange with somebody and they turn out to be an ignorant person, I disengage
The difference
because they
is,
have
though,
no value.
the difference is if you're coming from Africa, if you're coming from, and I'm not going to say Africa, if you're coming from a third world country, you're coming to a first world country, you feel some type of way. People who speak very good English, you know what I mean? They don't have an accent that you have, so you try to fit in. And I have seen many friends of mine who have tried to fit in. You're not gonna able to ever fit in because even when I say hello, everybody's asking me, "Oh my gosh, I hear some accent. I hear some, you know what I mean?"
You want to know
You're
the funny
never.
thing? Mod, again, like the funny thing, I don't even know, I don't know what people hear when I'm speaking to them, but I do have an accent. It might sound New York, and if you know, you can hear where I'm West Indian.
Mhm.
But when I was younger, I was born and raised in a house of Bajans. So all I knew was my accent. So when people heard me, as American as I was told to go back home on my banana boat
Mhm.
because I was West Indian. It didn't because I didn't even know when it became cool to be West Indian. All of a sudden, one day it became cool to be West Indian, and it was only one of what kind of West Indian they knew about. That was Jamaicans. So I went from not being cool to being Jamaican.
Mhm.
So there's a whole bunch that's at play. But I assure you, if you are around Americans and they're talking, shut up, D nice. That's my home girl. She's Jamaican. She happens to be Jamaican. But like
Oh.
when you are in a space, if you are around people, like you come here with a grind, and that grind is to at least take you to a middle class or upper
Mhm.
middle class lifestyle, and you have the education to be in that position. But if you have to immigrate and you end up living in a place where the people are deciding not to go to school, or if you are around ignorant people who are hopeless, they for whatever reason they have become hopeless. It didn't start out, the
Mhm.
people didn't start out hopeless, but they have become hopeless. You got to work and bring yourself out of that, because by time I was in college, my family had moved and we had brought property, and all of my
Mhm.
friends came from these
Mhm.
two parent households, and
Mhm.
everybody was this and
Mhm.
everybody was that, and people going to school, and people get like my homeboy, he just got his doctorate, like he is actually a doctor.
Mhm.
Like, and
Mhm.
I was there supporting him through all 10 years because it
Mhm.
took him some time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to to finish it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like my best friends at Ivy League, these are
Mhm.
the people that are like the
Yes.
people I should have been
Right.
around,
Right. I know that.
right?
I
So
know.
to even give it taken another step for my paternal grandmother to be here, she married an American man, and he was from the hood, and he wasn't educated, and he didn't like he liked a West Indian enough to marry her, But when he got to feeling, he was an alcoholic. And he beat my grandmother like a drum. And what he would do is take me. He taught me to call my people not Barbadians, barbarians.
Mm.
He taught me to say this to my people, but bigger than that, when he was in his feelings, he would take me, put me on his lap, and tell them he's going to call the people to come get them, but not me, because I'm American. Yep. So all the other fears they had this fear that if they did not comply with whatever it was he wanted,
I hear you.
He was going to end up having me.
I hear
because they didn't know their rights.
I have lived that.
And even if they knew their rights, they knew they couldn't fight for their rights, because to make a call would be like, well, wait, how you get here? You got to go home. And although I am from a biracial family, where my aunts look like this, he had me telling them, y'all white and y'all the devil. This is what he was putting in me. Right? Now, it would be easy to think it was because he was American, but the reality is it's because he was ghetto and he wasn't good enough to even be affiliated with us. But it's what you had to do in order to be here. Right? So it's not because he was American, he was ignorant.
Right.
Y'all taking all the jobs. Fam, you haven't even applied for a job. And which job am I taking exactly?
Okay.
And if you talk to me about this, like have a discussion with me, don't resent me, but it's easy to feel resentment when you're in survival mode, right?
100%. I feel like, apart from immigrants, I feel like America's really done a struggle for an immigrant family who've tried everything. It can be you're running away from economics, you're running away because of security issues in your country, and we are never given that grace. No grace is extended to an immigrant family. And the minute that they hear your accent, they don't even want to listen to you. Like if in New York City, when I lived in New York City, oh my gosh, you'd expect that, in New York City, we have so many immigrants over there in New York City. But the minute somebody is, nobody has time to listen to you or understand your accent, understand what you're talking about.
But this is the thing. In the part of New York City, because the more money you made and the more you were able to move up and be around people who are going to say, instead of feeling resentment, right, they're going to have conversation with you to understand your story. When you meet those people, you understand, oh, they running game on all of us.
That's true.
They trying to put us all in the hamster wheel, and they want us to fight to see who's going to run it the fastest for them.
That's true.
But you have to get to a point where you can have the discussion.
I hear you.
Right? That's so, I can't say Americans are lazy, because there are more questions that have to be asked. Like, okay, so when did they become lazy? And what caused the laziness?
I'm glad you're
the one who give that man a job.
I'm glad you're the one who's saying those things, because I've had those things. I have had that for a long, long time. So I'm glad you're the one who's saying this.
But it does take, it does take being in a position like, I'm in that odd space where I can say, yeah, I don't need paperwork to be here, but I understand that struggle. So there's really not much that can be said. I understand your struggle. Been there. experienced it,
Mhm.
understood it.
Right.
I understand immigration. I understand what immigration does to a family.
Mhm.
Because it ain't all
Mhm.
sweet once you're here. Because the people that you working so hard to bring here, when they get here, they act like if you was here partying and bullshitting.
Girl,
They don't know how hard you was working to be here,
right,
to get them
right.
to be with you. They think you was here chilling and part. Nah, I was
Okay,
doing any job they would let me do
okay.
and putting every cent aside
Oh,
just so I could send you a barrel with something in it. And don't worry, and I ain't got Jordan money. I'm not wearing Jordans myself. What you mean?
okay. I'm not Oprah.
You know how many times I went down to Barbados and came back with I went down with suitcases and come back with a knapsack? Because the idea was that, oh, they in America, they could just get it back. Meanwhile, in
Okay,
America, we trying to figure it out. In America, we just trying, well, damn, what I'm gonna do now? Opera.
okay. For real life.
Yeah, like we used to be a barrel, just putting stuff in barrels to send.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they think just because you sending it, it's
Yo,
expensive
listen.
today. It's
Yes,
expensive
like
today, but you know how much corned beef I ate when it was cheap? And corned beef ain't healthy. It's salty. It's fatty. And just glad to eat
it's
it.
tough. It's really tough. It's tough.
And then
it's
the
really tough.
understanding
Mhm.
that if it used to be like, we ain't got it. But when you go outside, wash your face, brush your teeth, and don't let them know that we don't got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you better don't make them think we poor in here.
You know?
But we ain't got nothing. We are poor. Yeah, we got this house and all the bills are paid. But tonight we have water, flour, and sugar.
Okay.
We going to figure it out. You ain't going to be
Yes.
hungry, but it ain't going to be no steak dinner.
Okay. But our lights are still on. Our water is still running. We good.
And we'll never go hungry as long as we have water, flour, and sugar.
There you go. And that's why Goody and I connected, because I feel like she gets me and I get her. There you have it, you guys. There you have it. Mhm.
Yeah. So
An
back to
immigrant
these
story.
people with their their first world problems of trying to figure out if they're going to get married when they ain't got no business being married.
That's what I mean. I'm like, what are your priorities? What
The
is
absolute
Catherine?
worst thing you could do is get married when you're not financially ready to be married.
Exactly. And Catherine is not financially ready to get married. Joya, you still need to work on her timelines. All right. The other girl need to work on her, her
Security,
controlling
her,
issues.
I don't understand. Finances ain't their problem.
No, it's her controlling issues. And I feel like, when she got in this, and you have to realize it's the way she got into the relationship. It's the way you meet him, and the next morning you are in Mexico, and he's over there. He's not just flying you; he's flying all these girls, and so the
You want to know another
insecurities.
thing? Guess who wouldn't have got? You think I could have start packing my bags and going to Mexico? My mom would have been like, "Where you going?"
Exactly.
Mexico. Well, Mexico
But
with
then,
who?
but then,
Who
but
going?
then, did,
Tell the friends to call me and tell me that you going.
wait, but do we know if she even shared that information with Mama? Because she looks
Let
like
me
an
tell you.
adult.
You ready? You want to hear another part? My
Mhm.
mother alive and she find out I'm in Mexico and I didn't let her know. Don't come home. Even if we don't live together, because if I see you, the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna deal with you when you get back.
There
What
you
do you mean you
go.
in Mexico? You mean to tell me
Yeah.
my child went to Mexico and didn't tell me, and anything could have happened in the plane? And
Okay.
all right, we my friend D is saying that she gonna try to binge watch so that next time we go live, she know what the hell we talking about.
Oh my gosh, I would love to have her here. But yeah, I don't know that it comes back to that. It comes like I have a daughter. Oh my gosh, I would hate to hear that, she's now, she met this dude and she's all, she's going to Europe,
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Listen,
Forget about even Europe, even another state.
we're not doing that because you don't know what have you put into this or taken out of this that you know how you know he's not the murderer, the killer. How you
Excuse me?
know? You don't
Yes,
know. He could be the
we
killer.
don't.
So now you in a different country. All I'm gonna say is look at what happened to Shanquilla. Couldn't be me. So I wait. Where are we with them now? So they had the discussions.
Meeting their families, and everybody is being, your upbringing, how has it contributed to your relationships?
Right. I think Catherine still has stuff she has to resolve.
Right.
Jasmine knows what her issues are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like Joya's sister didn't really ask her, yo, why do you need another kid so quick?
Right. She never.
Why
It's.
what's the
I
rush?
feel like they're hiding something from us.
Like for me, if my sister comes to me, oh, and we together and this, and I do want to have more kids, freeze your eggs.
That's what I said. We have technology. Prior to this, before you got here, I said we have technology. Freeze your eggs.
That way y'all could set the
Enjoy life.
timeline.
Yes.
We haven't even seen her have that discussion with him to see if it's something he'd be interested
Yes.
in.
No. No. No.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Listen, she D said that her friend tried to go someplace else. Talk about she going to see her boyfriend.
It was
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere. Nice try. Right. Like, who are you for? No.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. When we used to be going out to clubs and everything back in the night, hip hop's the 90s, we in clubs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We come in this club together, we leaving together. And when the people used to be like, you want to go to breakfast? And I told D this before. I thought when the men asked me if I want to go to breakfast, I thought they were being slack. I thought they were trying to invite, because I used to watch Three's Company. And Jack Tripper used to be like, let's have a nightcap. Let's have a nightcap. Right? So I thought when they say, let's go have breakfast, they meant that I was going to stay over their house at night and we wake up and have breakfast.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm a bit of a jerk. I'm trying to be nice now for you too, but I'm a jerk. So I would be like, breakfast? Why I'm having breakfast with you? You know how old I was when I realized that people were going to breakfast. They would leave the club together, everybody, and go to eat breakfast at the same time in the same place. It didn't mean you had to go sleep with the fella. I didn't know that though. I thought that the guy was like trying to ask me, and I'd be so offended.
Right.
But still, in my head, the way my people were, okay, if I go to breakfast, why want a stranger with me? We trying to talk about the fun we had at the party. Like, why would I want you there? You gonna be a stranger interrupting the vibe.
Right.
Needless to say, I miss many free breakfasts. But I didn't know everybody was going to breakfast. D. I literally thought it was a Three's Company. Hey, come up and see me sometime. You want a
Yes,
nightcap?
I hear you.
I thought they.
Yeah, I hear you.
But that's how sheltered I was. Like I was like,
Me too. Me
breakfast.
too. If somebody's telling
Why
me,
would you want me to go to breakfast with you?
yes, yes, me too.
Meanwhile, we
I would
leaving the club at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Yeah, you can have breakfast. It was early, it was early morning. There was diners open,
Mhm,
but mind
mhm.
you, I would still go to breakfast. But it was me and my sisters partying, so we would just go to breakfast together. But why would I want y'all with us? Why were you trying to have breakfast and talk about y'all? So right, like, see, she didn't know either. She's not very much different from
No,
me.
me too. Like,
They
even
had
you're
to
telling
explain
me,
to me that it wasn't, because I thought that
yes,
was a proposition for slackness. Like, what do you think
yes,
I am, a
even
loose
for
woman?
me,
But I
me
was I
too.
was well into my 30s before I found that out.
You are not alone. You're not alone. All right. Uh, listen, I would be thinking the same thing. Like, if you tell me to have breakfast, I'm like, okay, so you want to take me over to your place so that you can go have breakfast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what do you mean breakfast?
I hear
What is this? What is yeah? But I used to be a smart mouth, so I used to be like, I look like I'm hungry to you, because now I'm being aggressive. Now I'm. Why would I want to have breakfast with you,
you.
fam?
Okay.
You don't think I got money, B? Like, because now I'm being aggressive to
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
get the pervert out my way. Now I'm being extra, and there might have been a little
right.
liquor involved. So now I'm just aggressive. Like, how dare you? But yeah, these people ain't ready. I'm
No,
really trying to figure out if Dr. Stacy is adding or taking away from the situation. I don't know yet,
I don't know if she's adding
but I know
anything.
that, like, how much more episodes?
I don't know. I don't know how many more episodes we are left. I feel like she's not adding anything. Um, we need Dr. Nicole back, if you ask me.
I don't know if Dr. Nicole's the answer. Maybe a combination of both of them. Somebody who could uncover the thing,
Mhm.
and then somebody who could give them the real tools and have a
Relate to
clinical
them. Relate to them. Right.
therapeutic discussion about what's going on, because
Right.
that's what AJ Wright does. She
Hmm.
brings somebody in. Like, you not on like these couples retreats, they just do a whole bunch of foolishness. But AJ Wright had a show called Life Therapy, and
Yes,
if she
I
was
watched
talking
it.
about um infertility, she'd have the discussion about the infertility, uncover what the issue was, and then have her medical friends come in, explain what was at play,
Hmm.
and then they create a plan from there.
Hmm. I hear you. I hear you. It's gonna be interesting. But you and I are gonna be catching up tomorrow on commission reviews on Love and Marriage, Huntsville.
Yeah, like
Yeah. I don't wanna start. I am not gonna say anything, because if I start saying anything, we are not gonna finish this live until in the next like
nah,
two
I'm not
hours.
gonna say anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
much has happened. Like, so much goes on the peripherals. I don't even want to talk what's happening on the side.
Oh
I
my
just really,
gosh.
like, you need a whole other show for the stuff. The circus that's happening on the side, you need a totally different show to
Okay.
discuss the circus. But it's a 5 ring circus, not even 3. So,
No,
all
I'm
right,
with
are we
you.
done with these people?
We are done with these people. Thank you, goody, my sister, for showing up late. It's okay. It's
You
okay.
know what?
Late
Shut up.
as
You know,
usual.
I was talking to D before I was like, oh shoot, I need to be on the live. And she was like, send me the link.
I appreciate you, goody, my sister. Thank you for stopping by. I am out of this thing. You all go follow up, goody. Thank you, D Nice, for stopping by.
Later. Later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, goody. Oh my gosh, that was fun, you guys. I'm your girl, Mother from Mama, the undisputed African queen. Thank you all for stopping by. Bye, everybody.